that. Why? That's mommy's. Use this if you want to smell like that tea.
You never had to question if you were a man, so why give your money to a corporation that doesn't know if their products are made for men? Try Jeremy Razor's hair and body products. Jeremy shampoo and conditioner are made with tea tree oil to naturally clean and restore your hair and scalp, argan oil to soften your hair and not your masculinity, and aloe vera to moisturize the hair and scalp. It's all paraben-free, sulfate-free, phthalate-free, and most importantly, 100% woke-free. Not to mention, it smells amazing. Go to jeremyrazors.com and use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. That's jeremyrazors.com. Use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In this episode, we're going to talk about our favorite mayor of Dalton Township or Dalton Village, and she is the super mayor, the super duper mayor. She likes to get it turned up, but we're going to get deep dive. We're going to go into her cronies, her thugs that does her bidding for her. Okay, so we're going to talk about who she has in actual positions in the village of Dalton and also Thornton Township and the devious stuff that she's been doing. Okay, and we know a lot of stuff that she's been doing, but she's been doing a lot of under the cover devious things. So we're going to talk about that today. And then we're going to get into George Santos. George Santos, he was a representative, and I'm using the word past tense, was a representative of New York, Staten Island, and he was voted out. He was voted out today. And surprisingly, Republicans, they had almost 110 Republicans voted to vote him out. So it held, and so he lost his seat. And they're planning to have some type of special election in New York. We'll discuss that today, all on Business Talks.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
You guys put in the chat. Tell me where you are viewing from. Put in the chat. Let me know where you are viewing from. I'm from Michigan. We're filming from Michigan, a township outside of Detroit, Michigan. And it was like 40 degrees today, but it was still gloomy outside. So it's still Gotham City. When we're talking about cities and small towns and villages, you know, most people know just about everybody. You know, it's hard to go somewhere where you may know that person, may know of that person, or a person, family, friend, or family knows of that person. It's hard to get away from that. So you have Tiffany Henyard, you're the mayor of Dalton Village. She has implanted her mark throughout the village. And there's nothing wrong with Tiffany giving people jobs, but this is a little odd. Okay, this is a little odd that what the things that she's been doing. Okay, first of all, I don't know if you guys remember the video that I shared with you when she got elected for or nominated, appointed for the city township supervisor. I don't know if you guys remember that particular video, but I just posted that one up. But I want you to pay attention to this guy. Now, apparently, this guy is named Dakar or Dakar. Let me get his name right because I might be saying his name wrong. Don Carr or Don Core. Let's say Don Core. Don Core Parker. Okay. This is her crony. You know, I was like kind of putting in a laughing manner saying that, oh yeah, that might be her man. But no, I have videos of her man, and you won't believe who her man is. And I'm gonna share that with you. But hold on for a second, I'm getting some feedback somewhere. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna share you her man um later on. But this particular individual, this is the guy who goes around doing her bidding for, her, going around threatening people. And it's kind of odd that he used to be an employee for the village of Dalton. And now you just sit up under Tiffany Henyard and do whatever the hell she says. To me, that's really odd. That you have to follow around this woman and you do whatever she says. Um, Now, I don't know if you guys remember this particular video. That I just posted up.
You are making a mockery out of this for real. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is ridiculous.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett,
Now, the guy in the background that said hell yeah, like they won the lottery or something, this is Duncore Parker, her crony. Real ghetto. This guy right here. This guy right here. This is her crony. Now, during the summer, I don't know if you guys remember that Tiffany Henyard, what reason, she decided to lock the township board of trustees out. Maybe because they was questioning her too much about her spending. So she decided to get back at them. And this fool thought it was okay for him to do a drive-by. And when I say drive-by, I'm not saying he went up and doing some other stuff, but he did do a drive-by. So they had to hold the township meeting outside. And this is one of the township meetings where they had to hold it outside, and because they were locked out the township.
To become the same thing, even worse, times 10. So it's just disappointing that we're here. And I don't know what happens, me and the guy was talking, I don't know what happens when somebody gets in that position and that power just takes them to a place that you don't even recognize them anymore. Or maybe that's who they really want. So it's disappointing, but I'm glad that we're here, we're united, and we're working together for the empowerment and the betterment of the town. Because we all live here, we all pay these high taxes. We just got our last tax bill. So we're all going up. So we're working together to improve our power. I never want to make it personal. This is not personal towards the man. This is about what's right and what's wrong for the town. And that's where I want to leave it at. Because when it becomes personal, then in the midst of that, you don't know who's who. Everybody look at the whole board and the mayor like they're crazy. And we witnessed that for years. So I'm just saying that to say that I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're coming together. I'm glad the clerk's here. And we're going to work together to improve this town. And we're going to, if a lot of times I think people have been frustrated with us and say, what's taking out so long? Get your attorney, take her power, do this. And people told us before we got sworn in, before they got sworn in, to do it. And what we all said, we want to give her a chance. We want to try to give her, because I think she deserved a chance. But now we've done
that Riley shit. Somebody want to hear that motherfucker give her a chance shit.
Damn. Okay.
You know what the fuck time it is.
Okay, so we're gonna move forward, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at, and we're gonna continue to grow and move this town forward. And by the grace of God, we're gonna keep together.
Yes, ma'am. But don't let them pull you up for that bullshit.
Thank you.
Don't talk that bullshit.
Come on, man.
And I very real respect because I'm not gonna tell you.
Anybody saying shit to you, he know who the fuck I'm talking to. He know what the fuck I'm here for.
Okay, go ahead. All right. Good evening, everybody.
You know what time it is. Y'all want to set it up? You got the right
okay,
motherfucker.
Excuse me.
You got the right one. You got it. You got it.
So literally, they having a township meeting outside. This is the same guy who showed up when she was appointed, and he's coming knowingly. He knows that they got locked out. They got locked out the meeting because Tiffany Henyard locked them out. So they got to hold the meeting outside. So Tiffany probably got on her phone and said, drive by to see what they doing. Number one, you supposed to be the town supervisor. You should have been there anyway. Or the township supervisor. So you should have been there anyway. So, but you sent your crony there.
You're supposed to wash.
Yeah, watch all those. You sent your crony there, and make sure you close my door. And then you act like your crony act like he was gonna beat somebody up. And you heard the board member saying, "Hey, we're trying to give her a chance. She deserves a chance." It's really ridiculous, but he's there to threaten people while they're standing outside, and they got a whole bunch of elderly people there. Let me get to some of your chats. Crystal, Nicole, Michigan. Hey, Crystal. Connecticut, Donna, welcome. Philly. More Magic, Philly. Carolyn from Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, Crystal, it was warm yesterday in Michigan. Darnell Scarver, Buffalo. We got Emperor in the house. Chico is saying the Republicans are really looking bad at the time when they could really capitalize from the Democratic follies of late. Yeah, probably so. So let's look what else he's talking about, because I really think this is a little bit on the crazy side. You gonna show up at a meeting? We already locked out, so we already looking crazy, and you showing up at a meeting talking about what time it is. If you want to get it done, you could get it done. Like, what is this? This is a township, and look at all of these elderly people that's out there trying to see what's going on. They showed up to the meeting, and they sitting outside. They probably don't have a lot of chairs, but they sitting outside, and he's going on with his thug shit.
Got it.
You need to call 911.
You got the right person.
You need to call 911.
Hello
Hello
again.
again.
Good
evening, everyone.
Better call Jesus.
If you all could just ignore that for a moment until I finish my question.
Can't help some people.
I had to cover up
Yeah, no, he bogus.
I had to cover up
Bogus.
bad
You on that
stuff
Riley
because I'm on my way
That's
to
what you on.
work.
You trying to push Riley agenda? It's over with around here, Bill. You ain't know? Ain't shit else happening around here for Riley. It's over with. He fucked up the water bill and all the residents' money. So now you're gonna try to defend
I've had my home for 7 months.
You.
I just moved to Dalton. I was actually excited. As of now, seeing the person that's the head of Dalton, it's a shame. My question was in regards to infrastructure what is being done about that? My block flooded when it rained a couple of months ago. The water, you couldn't drive through it. My parents were actually at my house helping set my house up for me. I was at work. I just happened to check my cameras and was like, oh, it's a river. I made a phone call to a couple of trustees. They did come out. They did get to see how bad the water was. It was extremely bad. I have it on video. And I just wanted to know what's going on with infrastructure. The cameras are nice. The new lights, the street lights are nice. However, we have deeper issues, especially when it comes to flood. Because that can damage homes, and people can't get to their houses, or you have to walk through flooded water to get to your home. So my question:
Can anybody believe this? Like, they're at a meeting. Okay, I could see you being like, okay, passionate about something, but what is your purpose? First, you talking about what a time it is, and then now you saying it's disrespectful to the residents. No, your mayor disrespected them. She locked them out. Who does that? Who does that kind of stuff? And now you're over talking this resident, saying is disrespectful to the resident, but you being disrespectful to this lady, and she trying to ask questions. Like, what is going on here?
What's being done for infrastructure?
If we'll address that offline. We're going to conclude this meeting cordially. And so I'm going to make a motion to dismiss.
And let you know that he ain't right.
Second.
Let you know he ain't
Motion
right.
and second. Clerk Keel, that's a roll call.
A godly man uses his wisdom and he don't listen to crap.
Trustee Norwood. Trustee
You
Belcher.
godly because you standing out there.
Absent.
For me, I call it
Trustee
short
Brown.
toast.
Trustee House. The meeting is adjourned at 5:50.
He the one disrespecting the citizens. Why you ain't stopping? Why you ain't stopping? You seen your water bill for the last 4 years? That's what you should have stopped. You should have stopped paying.
I pay 3 water bills. How many?
That ain't enough. That ain't enough.
You don't pay any.
But man, Grandma, I'm not here to talk to you, and I love my people, so I'm not gonna. I don't mean any disrespect to you, but at the end of the day, this is for him. This is for him. This is for him. This is for him. This is him. This is him. We supposed to be one of our Muslim brothers. That's how he out here showing how we get out. We don't work like that. We don't move like that. Brothers don't do that.
But what is the guy doing besides holding the meeting? And he's interrupting him because he don't like your girl, your home girl. Is that the problem? You guys put these likes up. I see we got about 200 people in here. Y'all need to get the likes up, please. But who are you getting mad at? And then you're getting mad at this one particular guy. I don't know who he's directing it to. Maybe the guy that's sitting down. But like, really, dude, it doesn't make any sense. This is like really on the ridiculous side. So the old lady, the elder, she gets with him.
Brothers don't act like that.
Well, you acting like it.
Brothers don't act like that.
How you here to judge somebody? Shame on you.
And also, apparently, he was the football coach for Thornton High School. I think the football coach, and he got fired. He got fired. He got the boot. So now he's just working for Tiffany. Doing what? I'm not for sure.
You got what you're looking for, pimp. It's showtime around here. You gotta know it.
No,
You gotta know it.
shame on you.
It's showtime around here.
You embarrassing to the community.
You know what it is.
No, shame on you.
Y'all busted up.
Yeah,
It's illegal in
it's
the
not
first
bust
place.
up. No.
It's illegal in the first
You
place.
ain't nobody to
It's
bust
illegal in the
up.
first place.
Now, you don't want the other side of you to come out.
Ma'am, I would never disrespect you. I'm not
That's
talking
what
to
you
you.
just did. You You
I
disrespect me, and I'm
apologize.
sitting right here,
1000%.
and I don't
But
appreciate it.
okay,
My
but ma'am,
own
I'm not
doggone
talking to you
children
at
don't
this
disrespect me, and I'm not gonna have somebody like
I'm
you
not talking
coming
to you
along
anymore.
disrespecting me. You're full of it. Now,
I'm here to say
all
that.
your profanity and everything, that means you have a lack of respect. Hey guys, it's a setup. That's all. Let him it is a setup. So you can go back and tell whoever sent you here that surprises that nothing happens to you. But you're being disrespectful. Here we all senior citizens. We all have to be your grandmama. And you coming up here acting an ass. Baby, that's what we set up. Regardless of a setup, this young man should have better sense to let somebody use him like this.
You ain't seen nothing yet, Grandma.
Is that a threat?
It's not a threat.
When you said it, I want to know if it's a
It's not a
threat.
threat, Grandma.
Because see, you don't fear me.
No, I don't fear you. I don't fear anybody.
Well, shame on you. Now see, what y'all need to do is call 911 here.
Call her. Call 911.
Right, because
Call
you're
her.
being totally
Call her.
disrespectful, baby.
Call the 911.
I know they won't do anything, but
Call
they're
them.
all on your team.
Call them. Want me to call them?
Yeah, call them.
What's the number?
911. 911.
What's 911? What's the number?
Get in
You
your
got like
truck and go
911?
on. Peace be with you. And hope you learn some respect. No, that's what he was sent up here for.
Dunkor Parker is an employee with Thornton Township. Residents of Dalton have had enough. Okay, so he's an employee. I know he used to be the football coach. I don't know if he's coaching still, but there you have it. He ended up ruining the meeting.
You know, you're still around. You know, Robert's done.
So and there that happened during the summer. So this is what your girl is doing. She's sending all her cronies out to keep if the village trustees are not keeping in line, she's going to try to get them in line. She's either trying to move them out or use intimidation on them. And it seemed like those guys they weren't going for it. It seemed like they wasn't intimidated by him being there. They and oh boy, I forget what the guy's name is. It looked like he was an advocate for Tiffany when she first was elected, and I think that slowly changed because of her behavior. Let me share this with you. I got another video I want to share with you guys. Let me read through some of your comments. Yeah, Darnell, she probably was on the phone with them. Yep, you know she was. Sounded close to a terrorist threat to me. Yeah, he was making some idle threats. Luella Mitchell from Florida. How you doing, Luella? Jason, you know when a kid is grounded and he is shouting at mom from the other side of the door. Who raised this dude? We don't know. Apparently he don't get no mama or daddy. Because he off the chain. This dude is off the chain. Let me share this other one. Now, we know she locked them out of the township. Now, this recent story. She locked them out of the system so they're not able to see what she's spending her money on, or not her money, the village township money on. I guess Tiffany is logging in the receipts or whatever. The check comes through and it comes in this system. They got this payroll system, and the accountant and the trustees are able to do the reconciliation on this system. And now she locked them out of the system. And the whole purpose of this system is to keep track of the spending, to see what was going to what. And she decided to lock them out. Why she decided to do this? Because she doesn't want them to know what she's spending her money on, which is really, really crazy. Let me make sure I can find it. And this came out
It's
a couple of days ago. She, like I said, it came out a couple of days ago on the Dalton's trustees website. And she is literally spending money. They got this system, and she blocks their access to them, to the system. Why do you need to do that? Because you don't want everybody know that you spending money recklessly. It really doesn't make any sense.
And keep moving for the residents, because that's what we were elected to do. We were elected to protect you. We were elected to protect the finances, and we're going to keep doing it.
Question. Can you explain my viewpoint to the residents who don't know and what happens with my viewpoint?
Yeah, you're always trying to start something. So when we got in office, we got this software called My Viewpoint, because it was based on transparency. So I'll let y'all guys know what's going on. You'll be able to see the receipts. We'll be able to see the checks issued to the receipt. So it's very transparent on when we get a warrant list, we can see what we're paying for, which I thought was a wonderful idea. I use it to just like second nature to me. So the lease came out. Trustee Belcher always get us in trouble. I got us put on the floor.
I'm also the supervisor of Thorn Township. So when do I have time for little people? I don't. They beneath me. They beneath me.
What else, Jason? I always get us in.
Really? They beneath you? This is what happens when people get money. You see how she acted when she act like she won the lottery, because that job, being the township supervisor, pays $200 and something thousand a year. So she act like she literally won the lottery, instead of being like, oh, this is a great responsibility. And if you were so surprised about it, you would have known. Well, if you were so surprised about this position, you probably would have had second thoughts like, oh, really? Do I really want that position? Because I know it's probably a lot of stuff that comes with the position. But no, she saw money in her eyes that she probably never had before. And that's why she's acting like that. She's acting like this because she ain't never had no money. And she's telling people that the village of Dalton, the trustees are beneath them or beneath her. And these are the people that supposed to like literally have your back, or you should want them to have your back, because they're speaking. They're sending the message to all the residents of what's going on. But you want to have enemies, which doesn't make any sense.
Trouble, but the lease came out, and of course, yes, I got the lease from In My Viewpoint. I was looking, and I'm like, what is all these electronic payments and stuff like? So I went and clicked on the vendor and pulled up the lease. Now, I drive a Tahoe, courtesy of Kiana though. And I seen that Tahoe, and it said the payment amount was $2,400 a month. I said, good Lord. So I started looking at all of the leases. And I said, they paying $150,000 for a Tahoe? And so I looked at the
I wouldn't be surprised that she's paying $150,000. Did they show that lease up yet? We saw the APR on that lease. The APR was like $50,000, which you got to be the most stupidest person in the world to sign a lease for that amount. You guys see this? Let me enlarge it. Interest and APR, $55,000, $55,929,000. You agreed to pay that much over the lease, over a 5-year term. You agreed to pay that much on interest. That don't even make no sense. So, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this lease is linked up to somebody that donated to her and she's trying to pass business to them, and then they charge the city of Township, the city of Dalton or the Dalton Village this amount. She probably told them, oh, you could run it up, I got you covered. She hooking up all her friends. Oh, make sure you donate to my campaign or my whatever 501c3 that's not in good standing. Make sure you donate to that.
Trustee Belcher always. And I seen that Tahoe, and it said the payment amount was $2,400 a month. I said, good Lord. So I started looking at all of the leases. And I said, they paying $150,000 for a Tahoe? And so I looked at the down payment, which was $9,991, and we still paying $2,400. So I bought it up in the meeting. And she said, ain't nothing wrong with no leases. Yeah, we leased it.
For a lease?
For
I'm
a
okay
lease.
with leasing any vehicle here in the village of Dalton.
But it shows how financially irresponsible people can be. Because then they go and say they name not on it and they sign it and all that. So we go to, now it's time last Friday to get the new warrant list. So I'm like, okay, it's Friday. Let me click on my viewpoint so I can see what she done bought this week. Access denied. Forbidden. So I sent an email saying that, access has been denied. Can you let us know? Trustee House sent an email. She said, send back your questions of what you're asking about. So meaning that they're probably not going to let us back into my viewpoint, but it was based off transparency. You said when we started that this is for transparency, so we can be transparent, so we can know what we're paying for. But now they're seeing that when you're putting those things in, it's showing how you're spending the money, and you don't want us to show how you spend the money.
Yeah, you don't want people to know how you're spending money frivolously. You're acting like a child. What person will sign a lease and not read the paperwork? Because you don't have to come out your pocket. A person that doesn't know how to manage money. That's the only person that would do that. Oh, it's not my money. That's the least they could do is pay for this $2,400 car note, which is very unrealistic. You can't get a Ford Explorer, even if you got a Yukon. Why would you sign yourself up for that? And no telling what else they signed up for. we don't know the whole details because she locked them out of the system. This next video is crazy too. Now, this next video, it gets into Tiffany Henyard's boyfriend. How she got him making $100,000 a year. Don't know what type of skills he has, but he makes about $100,000 a year, courtesy of the township. And apparently, this fool is married. So she's sleeping with the married man. And in the video, he's not planning to get divorced either. I'll let the video show you or tell you. But he's not planning to get divorced because he renewed or signed for a mortgage, a second mortgage on his house. That him and his wife stay in. This is what Tiffany Henyard, the type of person she is. She deals with thugs and she sleeps with married men. Does she have good judgment? No, she doesn't. Because you love criminals. You love thugs to do your bidding. And you're sleeping with married men. You guys let me know. Am I being too harsh on this lady? To me, this sounds really ridiculous. And you're supposed to be the quote unquote mayor and the quote unquote township supervisor.
We have already shown you your tax meetings, and the mayor says something so ridiculous it's almost impossible not to respond. It's the audacity for us. She is a walking, talking contradiction to herself. We have already proven she spends taxpayer dollars on whatever she wants. But now we will open up the next chapter in the book of Henyard. This is the clip that caught our attention.
Legislative branch power, this is what they do. They nickel and dime try to muscle the mayor into doing things for their friends and their cronies. I would never do that. So,
oh, sure. Tiffany would never do that. All right, residents, as we have already shown you, your tax dollars support Tiffany's extra fun lifestyle. But now we are ready to show you what else your tax dollars pay for. Actually, we should say who they pay for. We hear this question get asked a lot. Why are people still loyal to her? Well, she not only signs their paycheck, but she is the only reason they are getting that paycheck. She creates job security to all the criminals she employs. Past, present, and future criminals, that is. Hope you are ready to be amazed. We really don't like being mean. So please understand, we are just stating the facts when we point out illegal activity or gross misuse of taxpayer dollars. If someone proudly associates themselves with Tiffany, they can't be surprised when their wrongdoing gets revealed too. Let's dive in. First on the chopping block is Kamal Woods, Tiffany's married boyfriend, and doesn't look to be getting a divorce anytime soon since he and his wife just refinanced their mortgage on their South Holland home in March 2023.
You see, they got a refinance on the house. We could say, oh, maybe he's just trying to provide a place to stay for his wife. Really?
I'm a single parent of Justice right here, and thank God for Kamal. Kamal has came into our life. He has been nothing but a loving father to my child, Justice.
You trying to X your her other father out because he got married, and you're going through this. You know what? This lady is not a good person. And now that I'm getting all this stuff information, it's one thing that you're corrupt, and that's not a good thing. I'm saying it like it's one thing that you're corrupt. It's not a good thing that she is corrupt. But then you have a little child. Remember the last story last week? We talked about her, and she sent a threatening letter to Fox 32 News because she wanted for them to stop reporting bad things about her. And one of the reasons she said is because she's going through a custody battle with her so-called baby daddy. Okay. And he's married. And the lady he's married to works at the news station. So she's claiming that the lady never reported on her. She's claiming that she coerced the news station to do a story about Tiffany. And it's like, okay, no, they did a story about you because you make the most noise. But what was I getting at? You got to be a effed up person if you trying to move just because your one relationship didn't work out with her father. You trying to move another man in so he could be the daddy, so you could be fake. And lying and confusing the little girl. You probably lying to her, oh, that's your daddy. What kind of ghetto ass shit is that? That's your father. And the girl is probably confused. Is that all get out? You guys put it in the chat. You got to be a lousy person. Now, we could say, I'm going to pull up the Instagram for the guy. Let me just pull him up. This is her baby daddy. Let me see if I can find it. I think her name is Erica something. Her baby daddy seems like he's well-to-do. I don't know the whole thing about it, but it seems to me that Tiffany couldn't get her way, so now she's having this custody battle. And it's like, why can't you have joint custody? Is he a bad parent? But he doesn't look like he's a bad guy. Now, can you tell from outward appearances if a person is bad? No, not really. But he doesn't look like he a thug like this guy. But she wants to try to steal somebody else's man. And try to play house because you can't find a good man. You can't find a good man. I'm just trying to find that that note. You can't find a good man, so you think it's okay for you to shit on other people. That's basically what you're doing. And steal other people's man. What is that? You know what? I'm going to play this video while it's playing. I'll try to find it.
I love him for that. And come on, thank you for all the support that you have.
In March 2023.
I'm a single parent of Justice right here, and thank God for Kamal. Kamal has came into our life. He has been nothing but a loving father to my child, Justice, so I love him for that. And Kamal, thank you for all the support that you have given me. So I just want.
It's really none of our business, but a public figure who associates themselves with a married man should be careful what they speak on. Everyone has skeletons in their closet, so while Kamal may be a great father figure to Justice, we hope he cleared up the child support lien he had against him from a previous relationship. Kamal receives a salary of $100,000 a year through the Thornton Township Youth Grant. We are sure this has since increased since the state decided to double the youth grant from $1 million to $2 million, even though Supervisor Henyard failed to do anything productive with the grant besides throw an embarrassing youth summit, which was nothing more than a concert for Tiffany to feel like a celebrity. Okay, we have to provide a short clip.
I can be the only one. Is that too much?
Why? Why are you doing that? Why are you torturing people and you trying to sing?
I just need somebody, treat me like somebody.
Yikes. Anyway, back to the point. Kamal is a business owner of a clothing store in Glenwood, Illinois. Of course, this business is not in good standing with the state. Also, one of the brands Kamal sells, possibly owns, just so happens to be one of the sponsors of the Just Ice basketball courts in Dolton. Look familiar? And that brings us to his car wash located in Dolton. It's no shock Kamal managed to get his business license renewed without any issue, unlike dozens of other businesses in town who Henyard has denied renewing licenses for. We bet a FOIA search will show he doesn't pay the $450 fee. It's also odd that we cannot find any business in the state this car wash is registered under. So what perks does this special crony of hers get? Well, we have heard on good authority Kamal doesn't pay a water bill. Since we cannot provide documentation, we will move to the next item. His business doesn't pay property taxes, is actually listed as exempt. Now anyone who owns a home or business in Dolton knows how high property taxes are. The only time a business is exempt is when it's a not-for-profit, which is not the case for this car wash. These are public records for anyone who wants to check for themselves. Hey Kamal, you should really take care of that mechanic's lien on the property. And yet, he still managed to buy another property that wasn't even advertised as being for sale. We bet he knew someone. He purchased the old animal hospital on Lincoln Avenue, Dolton for $80,000 according to the Cook County Assessor's website. He put it up for sale shortly after with a description that we suspect was written by Kamal, but proofread by Tiffany. We won't waste your time.
Whoever's narrating this, he's so petty. He petty as hell. No, the one letter that they sent to Fox 32 News, they petty too, because when I was reading it, they had mentioned that they had so many grammar errors in the note that no one read any other stuff. And so he's highlighting all the misspelled words. This is real petty, but so he probably did write it himself, and Tiffany probably proofread it because she can't write it either. She had a bunch of run-on sentences in that letter. Anyway,
you can pause and read it if you would like. 1 year later, Kamal sold the property for $200,000, which means he made $120,000 on the sale. Now this is where things start to include other cronies. Kamal sold the property to his car wash neighbor, a liquor store called the Emporium Beverage Depot, owned by TAC Investments. Now we are not saying the buyers of the property have done anything illegal in any way, but we are saying they did donate $8,000 to Tiffany Henyard's campaign fund just before she announced a new restaurant was going to be breaking ground at the location on Lincoln Avenue. She did this without board approval, of course. She was so excited she even made a video. Shocking, we know. Look, Kamal was even part of the groundbreaking.
It's gonna be big about it. At the end of the day, you see me putting a restaurant, event space, or if you got a banquet, a party, an event, you turning 60, you traveling, please come, contact Tiff and Patrick. I'm gonna have my 75th at that place.
Whoever's in the background, stop it. This is some of her people, and we will find out throughout this video. She has a lot of people planted in the township. a village, township of Thornton, and village Dalton Village. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, this is good that you're bringing businesses and stuff to the community per se, but when you do that kind of stuff, when you have a smaller town and you got a bunch of small businesses, what do you say to the people? You're taking all the small business owners that probably have an event space, a liquor store, and she's going to start talking about liquor store, restaurants, and they have this, you bring this in. What does that say to the people? You just trying to put them out of business. That's why I don't think she doesn't really think. You're bringing jobs, but how many smaller businesses are you going to put out because of this 4-5 story building? That's the kind of stuff that you should be thinking about when you're a mayor. You're not trying to put the little people out of business.
I love them. I appreciate it. And y'all know the words. Sing it with me. Ain't no stopping us now. We on the move.
Now, here is where the contradiction part comes into play. Not even 2 months later, Super Duper Tiff went on a long rant during a board meeting about not giving any more liquor licenses out and not supporting establishments who sell liquor or have parties.
Before you get into that, let me show you guys Let me show you something before he get into that. This is your girl, Tiffany. She was breaking in Tiffany was breaking in vehicles in 2016. That's why we should do background checks. We should do background checks on individuals. Now, is this to say she's not equipped to do the job, or she's not equipped to be in office? No, that's not what I'm saying. But is saying her character. She likes to steal. She's a thief. She went from petty thieving to big crime, scheming and thieving with the township. And she probably had a bright future. But this is your girl. This is your girl. She was breaking into cars back in 2016. Less than 6 years ago? I gotta find her picture again. Here she go. Criminal trespass to vehicles. And she actually got arrested. They released her the very next day. And Dalton, if you online, I don't know if you knew of this, but you elected her. Now back to our regular scheduled program. Let's see what you guys talking about. It's rent to buy with a balloon payment at the end of the 6 years. Dealerships do not do leases over 4 years. Oh, is that what is, KD? I didn't even know that. I just can't imagine paying $2,400 for a lease. To me, that just sounds really ridiculous. What are you getting out of it? But it's not her money. It's not her money. She don't got to pay for it. So she said, okay, whatever. She probably didn't even read the paperwork. She probably just signed her name and didn't read the paperwork. And you saw her on the meeting saying, oh, what lease? I didn't sign no lease. And her name was on the damn lease. She signed her name. And they paid $2,400 a month. And where the hell are you going to have a $2,400 car? If you guys know, I hear she spends a lot on her security detail. If you guys know more information about that, I want to hear about it. Just send it to my email. Dwayne Manziel, where's the attorney general in all this? Oh yeah, Kim Cook. Kim Cook, I don't know if Kim Cook got her nose in the sand, but I'm going to find that article. I get a lot of comments about where's the FBI, where's the FBI. I have one article saying the FBI actually questioned some of her affiliates, friends per se, people that deal with Tiffany. Drones, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate you, brother. Where do you see her future going? Prison or out of office? This seems way too much. I believe she's going to jail. She's knowingly doing things to harm the township. She's spending money and she's doing stuff that's not legal. I don't think she's legally to lock people out. I believe that I'm pretty sure they have some rules and regulations against that. Locking the trustees out from the building. That's one thing. That might be the minor thing. But the biggest thing is with the FOIA requests. Okay. So it's unconstitutional for her to do that. That's actually illegal for her to hold up FOIA requests and not respond in 5 business days. I think that's what the law reads. So in the FOIA requests, where the lady, I think her name is Allison Keys, is trying to, she filed the injunction so they could release the information. They trying to get the courts involved so she could fulfill her duty as the assessor. And she's not able to fulfill her duty. So that's the biggest thing. And in that lawsuit, it did mention, let me see if I could pull it up. In the lawsuit, it did mention that several of the requests were from the Attorney General office. So they actually are looking into her. Of course, they're not going to let us know the details of it. But if it comes down to it, they might issue out warrants, to raid people's offices. That's how they're going to actually get the information. Now I believe she has her own guy in the police department, because one of the problems with some of the FOIA requests, the information has to be fulfilled by the police department, and she doesn't have access to it. She just send the request off saying, hey, I need this information by such and such date so I can send it off. And they haven't released that information because Tiffany Henyard made a direct command to the police department saying, hey, you don't fulfill no FOIA requests. And for some reason, I think Tiffany Henyard is not mature enough to understand that you're playing with fire. You can't say you're not going to fulfill a FOIA request, because now you're treading on federal territory. You're not just doing stuff to the township. This is going to go out throughout the state. And I wish somebody would tell her to look up Kwame Kilpatrick. He had her same attitude. Even though if you go down to Detroit and the Riverwalk is all beautiful, that was part of Kwame. Kwame did all that. He set those deals up so the Riverwalk will be all beautified. But still, he had his criminal hand in it. Hey, you want this contract, this city contract? You need to give me some money. And then you had 3 construction people testifying against him, and they gave Kwame 28 years. So that's where she's going. She's going to jail. And people might be saying, oh, they always getting after black women and black men. If they doing some under criminal stuff, that's what they're supposed to do. Anyway, they're supposed to get the
right. Let's watch.
Many you get the pulling liquor license, because they talk about business license, liquor license, where I am the liquor commissioner. People got an attitude. Now everybody want to talk, but they're not telling you how it's hurting our people. All I'm saying is we can do better with less. And with less being, we don't need all them liquor stores and liquor establishments. We got over 40.
This is a mastermind right there. Now, you're saying, oh, liquor harms our people, which it does. I totally agree with that. 2 months ago, prior to this statement, 2 months ago, they broke ground. We just saw that. They broke ground on this grand plaza, food, events, whatever, and liquor. So you're saying that you're not going to renew these liquor license so everyone could go to that plaza or that store, shopping mall, or whatever it's supposed to be, event center, to buy liquor. She thinks she's smart doing this, but she's not. She's not smart, and she's really not smart enough to cover her trail. You know, just like that lease. You thought people didn't have access to the information, so you make the bold move to lock people out. So she's really not a smart criminal. But as far as a good talker, she's a great talker, because she thought of a way to say, oh, we're killing our own people. We're going to shut down these liquor licenses. And everybody probably think, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. We shouldn't have that many liquor stores in our community anyway. That's a really great idea. But all the while, you broke ground on this tower to sell liquor to your own people. So are you going to give them a liquor license? How's it going to be an event place if they're not selling liquor?
Y'all know that you can go buy liquor from. How much liquor you going to drink? We can cut that. But the minute I say that, then it's, oh, she's stopping the business. No. And I will not have strip joints in Dalton. I will not have more liquor spaces in Dalton. So.
Back to our crony, Kamal.
I agree with what she's saying. But if it wasn't deviants behind it, this would be great. But she has some undercover stuff going on with this. Yeah, I agree that you guys probably shouldn't have no strip club, and You shouldn't have like 30 or 40, I think she said 20 or 30 liquor stores in one small area in the township. Yeah, I agree with that. But you just broke ground on the building where they're going to be selling liquor. So what are you saying here? What are we saying? And they clapping, but did they know this? Do the people of Thornton Township know that she just broke ground on this big event center where they're going to be selling liquor? Like, come on now.
We know there is probably much more we can tell you about, but we have a lot more to cover, so we will transition on this note. Kamal also sits on the Tiffany Cares Foundation Board of Directors, along with many other friends and cronies of the super mayor. As you may recall, the Tiffany Cares Foundation received $10,000 from Thornton Township, where Tiffany is the supervisor. Yes, the super mayor gave her own foundation $10,000 out of the township she oversees. Seems super illegal, right? We think so. But if you ask Tiffany, this is what she says about it.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is Nowhere, sir. I'm the face.
You're the face.
Back to the board of directors, we're going to focus on two people, Carmen Carlisle and William Moore. Carmen Carlisle is the executive assistant to Mayor Henyard for the village of Dolton. Carmen was also conveniently appointed to fill the vacancy of Thornton Township trustee after Joyce Washington passed away in May 2023. Carmen collects a salary for both positions, of course, and Tiffany benefits from another yes vote in her favor on the township board. William Moore works full-time for the village of Dolton as the director of housing and permits. He also works in administration for Thornton Township and reports directly to Tiffany. Doesn't end there. His wife also works in administration for the township. He collects multiple paychecks along with his wife, and Tiffany has full control over the permits department since her crony Mr. Morris in charge. Now you may have noticed on the Tiffany Cares Foundation articles of incorporation that Keith Freeman is the registered agent. Just another convenient person for Tiffany to point the finger at when she goes down. Let's not forget Keith is the full-time village administrator and also works full-time at Thornton Township as Tiffany's right-hand man. I don't think we need to explain the mutual benefit of having your partner in crime next to you at both jobs. Dolton trustee Stan Brown had a new department created for him to oversee at the township. He is the director of community outreach and takes home a nice salary. His son, Stafford Brown, also works for Thornton Township in the HR department. In return, Stan votes yes to everything his supermayor asks of him for the village of Dolton. Jerry Jones is a Thornton Township trustee. He was
I know y'all getting confused right now. Like, how many people she got in office? Like, she got everybody. Everybody she paying. This is not it. I mean, she got a lot of people. Jerry Jones ain't even her no kin to her. It's just Jerry Jones is somebody that she could count on. He's the director of the water department. That's probably why they ain't paying the bills. Now, for actually the water department, they haven't paid the water bill in years. Matter of fact, the city of Chicago had to sue them. So in Tiffany's defense, she inherited that problem. Anywho, moving forward.
Was recently given a full-time job at the village of Dolton as the director of the water department. Jerry's daughter, Jasmine Jones, has also secured full-time employment with Thornton Township. His son.
If you notice the pattern here, they are collecting two salaries. That's the pattern. He's the Thornton Township trustee. He's the water man, director of the water department. All of it. How can you fulfill two jobs?
Son, Josh Jones, works for the township as well. Jerry's granddaughter, Portia Jones, works for the township too. She and Josh both work in community outreach, which is Stan Brown's department. Jerry collects two paychecks along with his family members, and Tiffany once again gets another yes man in her corner on the township board. Gloria White, who Tiffany ran for township school trustee, was also hired to work the youth grant and receives a salary at the township. The highest form of nepotism is easy to recognize when Tiffany's own last name is attached. Rosie Henyard, Tiffany's sister-in-law, is the Director of Youth and Family Services for Thornton Township. Tamika Henyard is Tiffany's cousin. She is the Manager of Senior Services for Thornton Township. Can't forget the woman responsible for Tiffany's look. Teresia Clark Butler is Tiffany's hairstylist and also landed herself a full-time job as a Thornton Township General Assistance caseworker and outreach. And
You a caseworker and you a hairdresser. These people got like 10 jobs. They're Jamaican. They got like 9 jobs. And they all sucking the money out of the township. She getting her people paid.
the honorable mentions go to Tenjanique Miller, Finance Director, has a nephew who works for Public Works. Stacy Carroll, Superintendent of Public Works, has a cousin working in his own department. A good friend of Tiffany is Pastor Anthony Williams, has a son who works for Public Works. Andrew Holmes' girlfriend works for the Village of Dolton. Terrence Alexander is Keith Freeman's best friend and is the IT project manager for the township.
Freeman is the go-to person. When she wants to lock everybody out, that's who's doing all the locking out. He's the IT guy. He changed the locks on people's doors and all that good stuff.
Man, that was exhausting. We hope you get the point after listening to the long list of Tiffany's friends and cronies who have jobs in return for their loyalty. It's hard to believe Tiffany would ever abuse her power as mayor or supervisor by giving perks to those who support her. But it's true, folks. Quid pro quo or pay to play. Call it what you want. We call it illegal. As always, we gave you the facts. And Tiffany has a problem with nepotism and lying. Until next time, thanks for watching. TikTok.
Tiffany Henyard has a problem with nepotism and lying. She sure does. This is her baby daddy, Mr. Early Walker. Seems like he's a good guy. You know, him and his wife has a what is it called? A joint Instagram page. He says on this post, he says, feeling incredibly grateful for my amazing wife, Tia on TV, who surprised me with a trip to Air Ancient Baths. It was the perfect escape and much needed experience. Thank you for making my pre-birthday surprise even more special. So he's living the life. He has a well-to-do wife. She's a news anchor. I think they got a little baby too, because I seen him, I think, on this joint Instagram. You know, him changing diapers. So, and they've been married for 2 years. And they got a lovely home. Meanwhile, your girl, she just trying to steal somebody's man. Let's play this clip again. She trying to steal somebody's man.
when their wrongdoing gets revealed too. Let's dive in. First on the chopping block is Kamal Woods.
This is her man that's married. Your baby daddy said to the hell with you, because he probably found out at a very early dealings with Tiffany. She cray. And now you trying to act like you got a perfect life and dating thugs. Don't he look like a thug? Talking about I'm a boss. You know, he got his sign up. Kamal Woods, Tiffany's married boyfriend.
Tiffany's married boyfriend. And doesn't look to be getting a divorce anytime soon, since he and his wife just refinanced their mortgage on their South Holland home in March 2023.
I'm a single parent of Justice right here, and thank God for Kamal. Kamal has came into our life. He has been nothing but a loving father to my child, Justice, so I love him for that. And Kamal, thank you for all the support that you have given me. So
Then, okay, I'm going to go there, ladies. You might get mad at me. You calling this man, he's been a loving father to my daughter. But he ain't married to you. You trying to put him in that spot, and he didn't say, baby, let's get married. And now you got your 4-year-old daughter calling the strange man daddy. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with that. Come on now. This is your mayor. This is the type of decision. This is foolishness decisions that she's making. She makes foolish decisions in her own life, and she's making foolish decisions with the city and the village and the township.
It's really none of our business, but a public figure who associates themselves with a married man should be careful what they speak on. Everyone has skeletons in their closet. So while Kamal may be a great father figure to Justice, we hope he cleared up the child support lien he had against him from a previous relationship. Kamal receives a salary of $100,000 a year through the Thornton Township Youth Grant. We are sure this has since increased since the state decided to double the youth grant from $1 million to $2 million, even though Supervisor Henyard failed to do anything productive with the grant besides throw an embarrassing youth summit, which was nothing more than a concert for Tiffany to feel like a celebrity. Okay.
We're not going to play that again. I'm not going to torture y'all again because she was singing and I was like, ooh, Lord have mercy. So this is the guy who said, hey, to the hell with you. I'm about to get a good woman in my life. And he decided to marry Tia. Her name is Tia and she's a news anchor. You know, so that's her baby daddy that she's fighting custody. And like I said, let me go back to my original statement. You got to be a piece of shit woman. I didn't say piece of shit, but I'm saying it now. To move in a man. Don't know if they moved in together or not. Apparently he got 2 homes because he got a mortgage on the other home where he has a wife that's living there. But you're moving in this man that's already taken and you calling him a father? And he don't look, they already mentioned he's behind in child support. So he don't want to be a daddy and you trying to make him a daddy. He don't want to be your baby daddy. He got a wife over somewhere that he's taking care of. And you trying to find a man, you forcing him to take you as your woman, his woman, because you gave him a job, $100,000 job that he's probably not qualified for. Yeah, you guys don't see a problem with that? You literally is taking care of this man. You paying for the house note that him and his wife is staying in. And you saying he stepped in to be a great father. And he didn't ask you for your hand in marriage. Yeah, they got a new baby. And maybe Tiffany is jealous of the baby. She's jealous of the baby. She thinking, oh, my baby need to be the it girl or whatever, I guess. Now you thinking, oh, he's gonna replace his child with that child. It's probably all in her head. But all the while, he probably loved both of his children. He'll probably do anything for the children. That's why they're in a custody battle. But she's jealous, probably jealous of their relationship. He got married, have a family, and she's all out here on the street trying to convince a man to be with her and be the father for her child. And he's married. That doesn't even make any sense. He is married. And this is the lady that's the leader of the township. Let me find that FBI investigation. Now, it sounds like she's got a lot of legal cases pending against her. That's what it sounds like. No, I think she sued them in May. I'm literally trying to find the lawsuit for the FOIA request. Because I know I actually put the paperwork. That's what one of my videos was about. Nope, that's not it. I'll find it. Oh, there's another suit that's going on with her. This is against Tiffany Henyard as an individual in her official capacity. The municipal officers of the village of Dalton, Illinois, in their official capacities and village and trustees. Oh, this is when they was trying to overturn her election, I think. Plaintiff appealee Tiffany Henyard was elected as a village president mayor of the village Dalton in 2021 consolidated elections. The 6 defendants, appellates Kiana, Belcher, Jason, Brittany, Eds, and Tammy, and Andrew, currently comprise of the village board trustees. At a special meeting on December 8th, the village board placed the 2 referendas at issue herein on June 28, 2022. A general primary election ballot. The record does not contain copies or signed number of resolutions placing the referenda on the ballot, only unsigned ones, but the parties do not dispute their content. This is when they was trying to overturn her election. They was trying to recall her election. Anyway. Federal. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Now, this is from South Suburban News. And it was posted in June. Okay. FBI probes Tiffany Henyard's Dalton administration. Thornton Township, spending also at issues, those interviewed said. It was only a week ago that the editorial board of the South Suburban News presented an editorial regarding Tiffany Henyard and her leadership in the Southland community of Dalton, where she serves as mayor. In addition, she serves as the township supervisor. Okay, and it says now that the South Suburban News has learned that the FBI has questioned several individuals regarding spending, alleged theft of services, and issues regarding accounts controlled by the village of Dalton and the township of Thornton. These concerns apparently began over the last year or so and coincide with tenure of Henyard in both municipalities. Misuse of public funds has brought down many public figures in Illinois politics, and so it is no surprise that many are beginning to scratch their head over what is next in the now snowballing Henyard's saga. It says, according to the individuals interviewed by the investigators, they were questioned about the hiring of cronies to exuberant salaries, like her boyfriend. He works for a community center. What position does he hold for the community center? Let me see. She pays him $100,000 a year. Let me see if I can find a playback speed. She pays him $100,000 a year. And does he have any skills? And then you're double dipping. You hold a position on the board at your so-called 501c3, and then you also hold a position in the township, just like the other guy. He's the director of the water department for the township, and you're also the director of, or you're on the board of trustees. You're double dipping. How can you fulfill two jobs? These are two full-time jobs, and you're getting full-time salaries. How are you doing that? So she pays Kamal $100,000 a year through a Thornton Township youth grant. Look, we don't know what she's doing with this was a grant. So who's over the spending for this grant? All the people that she put in place so she could have a free check to do whatever. She has a blank check. And she could do whatever she wants. Right now the township is in a deficit of $5 million. So she could do whatever the hell she wants with this $2 million. And she gonna keep on writing checks until somebody do something about it. Where was I at? Let me get to some of your chats. KD said, rephrase somebody's husband. Alan White, well, Tiff meant to be banging Keith, the rapist guy too. What? I can't say the rape, that R word on whatchamacallit on YouTube. They'll cancel me. Yeah, I know the guy who gang. Yeah, that guy. Mr. E, she hires Chomos as well. I don't know who's Chomo. Blue and green. That's always the idea guy in the community. This is the kind of guy that they seek. Yeah, you know, they want somebody that's thugged out. Benita said, I think she's bipolar. She doesn't think straight. Something wrong with her. Something's really wrong with her. Jim McQueen. I once was a dumb kid taking the short bus to school, ended up driving a Mustang to work in a Navy yard. Where's my grant for my smarts? White Owl, she is unreal. I can't believe she is like doing double down on the daily. I can see her still in the grip a bunch of city's money and dips to another country before she's catches a case eventually. I don't think she's international. She's too thug. She's too hood. Remember, I showed you the picture of her. Tiffany, she's not a chameleon. You can't take her anywhere. At least not yet. You know, she upgraded a weave or whatever. But she's a fast talker. She's more a city girl. But I don't think she'll fit in somewhere else. I don't think so. She's too hood. Tiffany Henyard, this is her. 2016 criminal trespass to vehicles. She was breaking in vehicles while she was on the board. I think she got elected to the board like in 2015, and they chose to keep her. What can you say about this? You was breaking into vehicles. What can you say? And in 2016, I think what is she, 37? So she was in her 30s, or just, I did a lot of foolish stuff. But when I got into my 30s, no, all that foolishness was gone. I didn't do crazy stuff. And I never broke into nobody's vehicles. I never was a thief. But I did a lot of crazy stuff in my 20s, like early 20s. After 25, 26, no, I said, okay, I need to stop taking risks, and lead by example. So they're saying there were several questions regarding spending that occurred involving purchases of clothing and other personal items on municipal credit cards for trips. Through the hiring of individuals with shady backgrounds may not be illegal, there were allegedly questions surrounding whether or not kickbacks were part of any hiring agreements. I could see that happening. You want a job? Well, I'm going to need a percentage of your salary. Yeah, I'll give you that $100,000 job. I could get you in there, but you're going to have to pay. Now, this is from a woman that was interviewed by the FBI. It's in quote. They asked me about several areas that have been of concern for some time, said one woman who wished not to be identified for fear of harm. She went on to say that she believes it has been the public that has alerted the investigators to Dalton and Thornton due to something as simple as Township going from $2 million in the black and now running $2 million in deficit. I think they're way more than that now. This was published in June. I think their last time I seen it, it was like they were saying they were like 5 million in the red. You guys put in the chat, let me know. I believe that's what they said. They're $5 million in the red. Henyard has long been considered an eccentric and socially eclectic political presence in Dalton. Reason why I'm reading so slow, I have some haters in my comments saying I didn't enunciate my words. This is why I'm trying to over enunciate my words so you guys won't claim that I can't read, which I do have a master's degree, by the way. Anyway, I want to enunciate my words so I won't get hating comments, reporting on Tiffany. So, Ghetto Fabulous presentation bucks the decorum of council meeting with music from a DJ from time to time, as well as the rumors of chitlins being given away to families during food giveaways. Like I said before, I read this before a few weeks ago. I'm not going to knock the chitlins because my mom, she's a minister, and in her town, the people, they have a slaughterhouse, and they give my mother's church food. And one of the food that they give is frozen chitlins. And you know who lined up for the frozen chitlins? All the people. They love the frozen chitlins. Even though I never ate them. You probably won't eat them. But, I'm not going to not chitlins because it is food. People, if they're in need, they will. If they eat chitlins, I'm not going to say if you're hungry, you just going to eat anything. No. What I'm saying is I'm not going to not know chitlins. I'm just not going to do that. But they're calling it Ghetto Fabulous. Spending of the tax dollars on giveaways is another area of questioning, said a man who was questioned. He told the South Suburban News that there were issues that dealt with whether or not the village of Township were following Office of Management and Budget protocols as it involves various programs in the village and townships, not to mention in everyday business practices. No, we could unequivocally answer that question. And we don't have anything to do with the township. We're not even there. But based off the videos that we saw, she locked them off of the point of thing system where they're able to see what type of transactions are being charged and bills that's being paid through the township. She locked them out. So no, they're not following any budget protocols. Any person that knows anything about business, you don't just frivolously spend. You usually have a budget in mind, because that's one of the ways that you will go out of business fast. So since Tiffany, our illustrious mayor, Miss Ghetto Fabulous, turned up mayor, she doesn't know that. Because if she did, she wouldn't be doing what she's doing. This is quote in quotation marks. Okay. So this is from one of the persons that's being questioned by the FBI. I never thought I'd be questioned, and really caused me to take stock of what I've been involved in around these people, he explained. I told the truth, and the chips will land where they land. The people like her, but I think it is just that they don't know or care about what is really going on. What is also concerning is that the board of trustees of both bodies may be taking on liabilities that they may later have to defend if they have been complicit in their ignoring the practices that may be fiscally irresponsible or, worse yet, illegal. Of course, they tried to call them. The Illinois FBI offices ended with the usual, "We don't have a comment," or whether or not we are investigating. They don't have a comment. Of course, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you they're actively investigating somebody, because they don't want you to mess up their investigation. They want her to continue to run amok, spend what, 560, remember she spent 560 something $1,000 in the township. She literally wrote a check for 500,000, 560 something $1,000. You guys don't remember that? I think that was last year she did this. So they want her to continue to spend the money like she's doing, so they could have some good charges on her. Let me see if I could. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, she wrote a check for $560 something thousand. Let me see. I think I found it on Twitter actually. So that's literally a $500,000 she wrote a check for. And we wonder why people have a problem with her. Let me see. This is it. This is from Pink Book Lessons. She's on YouTube. This is the check. This is the check. $561,821.45. To K5 Construction Corporation that she probably got a kickback on. K5 Construction Corporation. And we don't see a problem. So people are going to distance themselves once it all, heads start rolling. People gonna act like, oh, what is so sad, she is looking out for people, giving them jobs. But what is so sad, when people are threatened their freedom, they start singing like a canary. That's the worst thing about it. So she's the big fish, and she's going to go down because she thinks she has the loyalty of all her cronies. And once the FBI starting to get these charges rolling through and start to question people, and they have some real evidence against her, they probably already do, because she's doing it blatantly in people's faces. They are going to turn on her. That's the really saddest part about it. They're going to turn on her. Johnny Girl 609, welcome. Welcome. Mr. E, baby saying, what's daddy doing? Stop it, you guys. Johnny saying is running late. She's gonna catch the replay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there we have it. Boss ass Linda, she act like she's taking some type of drugs to me. That's that power drug. That power drug. She power hungry. She blind with money. Some people you can't give money to in power. She like I said, she received power and money all at the same time. So now she's probably cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Dwayne, are you saying you can't take the hood out of the girl? You can't. I really think you can't take the hood. I mean, you could disguise it like I'm from the hood. So, but I could go to places where people won't know that I was raised in the hood. Like, but if you see my sister, you be like, dang, you and you and my sisters, y'all came from the same, y'all came from the same problem. Because my sister real hood, she real hood. That's the girl you call like you need somebody beat up. That's hood. And sometimes you can't take her. Well, now that she's older, my sister's older, you could take her places. But back in the day, no. Back in the day, she was not a person that you could take places. She stick out like a sore thumb. And I love my sister to death, but I think that's what, and I wouldn't say Tiffany would stick out like a sore thumb, but to go overseas to run away from she's not like that. She's a person. She can't switch her the way she is because she's from Chicago. And I think she wouldn't get used to being in another country because she likes her weaves and she talk too much. She can't be low key. And she like her thug boyfriends. You know, her criminals. Yeah, she was breaking into her cars in her 30s. That's basically what she was doing. She's from Chicago, though. We have doctorates in street smart. I would put it past her. They need to keep track on her, updating her passport. I've been keeping track on her for months now. Like I said, I'm not for sure, but females, I know females like Tiffany. You know, she might could up and go and move away to another state, but out of the country, I wouldn't place her out of the country. I just wouldn't do it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see her as a flight risk. And then she got a baby. You know? She reminds me of a skit in Don't Be a Menace in South Central movie. The church sing, why come on? How come a minister can't have a nice house? Or why can't a minister have a nice car? Don't ask. That movie you were talking about, that's with Dwayne's brother. That was the funny movie, right? Or Don't Be a Menace to Society. Was that the gangster movie? I can't remember. Anyway. Oh, Menace in South Central movie. Don't Be a Menace. Yeah, I remember that one. David, Black Market Strip events, courtesy the mayor. Exactly. Don't ask me no questions. Just give me your money. Crystal, yeah, it's 5 million now. I know they're in 5 million deficit now. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so we chopped it up. We chopped it up about Tiffany Henyard. Let me just get to this one last story about talented Mr. Ripley. He got voted out, which he should have. He was stealing money too. But he was stealing, well, I guess him and Tiffany is the same thing. Tiffany's stealing from the poor too. One thing about George Santos, he was stealing money from individuals. He stole money from a dog organization. You know, a 501c3, a dog organization that helps people find puppies and adopt a dog, you know, so they won't get euthanized. Some people are mad that George Santos got kicked out, expelled. Why are you mad? Why are you mad that George Santos got kicked out? I guess this is his office locked being changed. Once you get kicked out, the same day, they like, they don't even give you time to drive off the parking lot. They change the same damn day. This is the Capitol Police, I guess. He got his picture up there, like, he should take that picture down too.
You changing the locks? Yes, sir. This area, it is now confiscated.
They changed the locks on him the very same hour that he got expelled from Congress. To me, this is so hilarious. They changed the locks this very same hour he got expelled. He got expelled at 2:59. They changed the locks at 3 p.m. Oh my goodness. Let me just pull up the this is CNN. I don't know if you guys like CNN or not, but they always say some interesting stuff.
When was the last time that he surprised you?
Some of the stuff on CNN be false, so you can't.
Here we go.
On this vote, the yeas are 311, the nays are 114, with 2 recorded as present. 2/3 voting in the affirmative, the resolution is adopted, and a motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. The clerk will notify the governor of the state of New York of the action of the House.
That means George Santos is...
Under Clause 5D of Rule 20, the chair announces to the House that in light of the expulsion of the gentleman from New York, Mr. Santos,
breaking news and the decision from the House of Representatives on this historic vote, George Santos has been voted expelled from the House of Representatives by a 2/3 majority of the House. The final tally, 311 fellow House members voting to out him. The threshold was 290, and they far passed that. David Chawanne standing by.
Melanie, hang on for a second. We want to get to Manu Raju, who's got someone with him. Manu.
This is Santos walking out. Didn't even talk. He didn't even wait for the vote to end. He was like, oh,
now you
damn.
trying to get to him, and as soon as he gets him, it looks like he isn't saying anything to anyone. He has been talking a heck of a lot before this vote, but now you see this vote, 310. The threshold was 290 to kick him out. We are waiting to see if he says anything there. Let's listen in.
He's not going to say anything.
Nope. Jumped in the car, closed the door, windows rolled
Santos,
up.
any comment? Mr. Santos, any comment?
Oh, wait, let's go to the House floor, guys. He just gavelled. The speaker's gaveling. Go to the House floor. Ask that. David Chalian standing by. The 6th member of Congress in history to be expelled from the House of Representatives, David.
Who just walked by himself out the chamber before the speaker actually gavelled the vote to its conclusion and got into that car and drove away, no longer a member of Congress, as he was just moments ago. You heard the speaker instruct the clerk to notify the governor of New York of the vacancy in this seat. And this is now, the first time, as you guys have said, where you're not dealing with a traitor from the Confederacy or dealing with a convicted criminal. This is the first time that somebody's been expelled from Congress that doesn't fit into one of those categories, which is that notion of precedence that George Santos was raising and some Republicans were raising as an area of concern, that this was setting a precedent. But this is quite astonishing when you think a year ago, when it was first reported by the New York Times and others, how much he had lied to the public about who he was.
You look, there's one thing to say, hey, my socks are orange and you got on green socks. But the stuff that he lied about is some crazy stuff. You're lying about your heritage. You're lying about going skiing because somebody else said they went skiing. You said you went skiing in the Appalachians, and he said, oh, I went skiing in Tahoe Valley. Like, it's not even snowing in Tahoe Valley. But what are you talking about? So he tries to one up you. Oh, my grandparents survived the Holocaust. My mother is a victim of 9/11. And one thing that I have to question, that I don't think they actually did their research into Santos, because is he a legal resident? We know he lived in Brazil. They're Brazilian, but is he really an American? And the report that I did a couple of days ago, I think it was Sunday, this guy actually was convicted in Brazil for some other stuff. And one of the friends that was talking about him that knew him in Brazil, they said he still has a warrant out for his arrest. So it's like he lies about everything. He is a liar. And then he steals. How in the world, what kind of person are you? You meet a veteran, a homeless veteran that has a dog that's dying of cancer, and you think, oh, let me raise money for this homeless veteran so they could save his dog. It's probably the only friend he has. And you raise the money. I think they raised about $3,600 for the surgery. And you know who took off with that money? George Santos. The dog ended up dying. The dog never got the surgery. He ended up dying. But George Santos, he had his hands in it. And he raised $3,600 in this vet name. A person that served our country. And you literally killed the dog. You could have helped save that dog. But no, you wanted to raise money so you could spend it on your Louis Vuitton. They say he buys crazy stuff like Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that stuff. For sure. And also in Brazil, they said he was a cross-dresser. I guess he participated in drag queen shows or something like that. The last report I put up, it had this old picture of him, you know, dressed in drag. So you lying about who you are anyway. So why not put makeup and a wig on? Because you're a big lie. Anyway, so that's Santos. They took him out. They took him out. They said, no, we're not standing for this. And CNN mentioned that he'd never been convicted of a crime. I thought he was convicted of a crime here. And he pled no contest. I don't know I think it was for some forgery checks. So I'm not for sure where they get that from. Anyway, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. There's another channel I want you guys to subscribe to. Let me just go to Chawanne Burns 2.0. This is my other channel. Go to this channel. Mainly I actually stream from this channel too, but mostly political stuff on this channel. So I appreciate every single one of you to do like and subscribe. You know, share my video. I really appreciate that. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. So I'm gonna head off. It's 10:19. I think I did my duty. We'll be at it Sunday. Sunday we'll be at it. I got some more information about immigration. So we'll talk about immigration on Sunday. All right. So you guys have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in once again. And I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you soon.